fellows, and welcome to episode 28 of La Resurreccion. And today we begin the new La Liga season, our fourth season now in the save. Last season, at the end of last season, yesterday's episode, if you didn't see it, please check it out. Spoilers though, we didn't quite qualify for the Champions League. We did secure a Europa League spot though. 5th place in the league was ours, so straight into the Europa League group stages. But today we take on Valencia away in the opening game of the season. We then have Barcelona at home, so a pretty tough start to this season. But it is the summer, that means the transfer window is still available, and I'm sure you'll be desperate to know what we've been up to in the transfer window. Not as much as I would have liked. If we start with the players out, just looking at the B team because their transfers are listed separately to ours. German Hernandez, you may remember him, the youngster that come through our academy. He's not quite fulfilled the potential as much as we maybe would have liked. So he's gone to Las Palmas. I think it was for it was about 300 grand. Yeah, 175k up front, 300 grand over total. James Morrison has retired, unfortunately, but he was never really in our plans. So in terms of players that we have released, there's quite a few there. Some names that you'll recognise. Adrian Gonzalez, he wasn't interested in negotiating a new contract, so he's left on a Bosman. David Lomban as well, a long-standing servant of the club. He's now found himself at local rivals Granada. But yeah, he was released. Raul Rodriguez as well, he is gone. He's ended up at Spal. Only spent a couple of years here at Malaga, but just with the reinforcements we brought in at centre-back, he was never really going to get a game. Juan Carr as well, spent the last few years out on loan. He's ended up in the MLS. There we go, that's what I was trying to say. So yeah, he has gone as well. Casado, you may have seen him in and around the squad last year. He was the third choice keeper, 24 now. He was not any good, so I didn't want to keep him around. Chechu as well, our left back one of our left backs in the opening season. The youngster, he's gone as well. Jesus Hoyos, that one goal that he scored, he's ended up at Real Oviedo. But yeah, he scored one goal, was given a number of opportunities. Quite a young striker still, but just, yeah, never really looked like he was going to fulfill any of that potential. In terms of first team outs, Renato Santos has gone out on loan. That means Jimmy Cavo is going to be one of our wingers for this season. Santos had a great end to last season, but comparing the two, Cabo is a little bit younger, slightly better, and out on loan last season. Cabo had a fantastic year on loan at Osasuna, so he seemed like the obvious choice to go for. Ideally would have liked to cash in on Renato Santos, but nobody came forward with transfer bids. We've sent him out on loan to PAOK, the Greek side. He's gone there for the season. I said at the end of last season I had my concerns about Rocha, and well, Cordoba made the decision for me, really. I was looking into bringing in another right back potentially. We'll have a look at that in a minute, a couple of spoilers there. But yeah, Cordoba came in with an offer, only 750k, but he was really declining over the summer. He just declined a little bit more. I did identify a right back that I brought in, and although they're the same age, Rocha is 32, so is our new right back, but comparing the two, this new right back was better in every area. So it seemed like an obvious choice to get rid of Rocha. 750k to La Liga rivals Cordoba. Thank you for your services, Marcos. Richie Towell as well. Now this is an odd one because he never played a game for us, which seemed like a bit of a waste. But I was actually going to include him in the squad this year, just because mainly a lack of depth in centre midfield. Obviously, Guendouzi returned to Arsenal. Wasn't really interested in renewing his loan. Yeah, I was going to include Tao, but then all my backroom staff sort of suggested that he's past his best. He is 30. He's still got some decent stats, but not quite good enough for our team. So Richie Tao was sold. He's gone to Osasuna, just under 600k. He was a bit of a waste, really. Bada Boularud, you may remember him. As you can see, 2-star player. Again, wanted to offload him permanently. No one was interested in taking him permanently, so he's gone out on loan. He's gone to Huesca for a second consecutive season. I think his contract is up at the end of this season. It is indeed, so he will probably be released as well. One player that I was interested in having around the squad, Amador Rodriguez, centre midfielder, only 18 years old. After we sold Tao, I then brought this guy up to the first team and thought, well, he might be good enough to sort of just have. He won't be good enough to start, but he's got plenty of potential, and I thought that he might be good to have in and around the squad. But Extra Moderna came in with a loan offer, and I thought actually it'd probably be better for his development rather than sitting around not playing for us. If he's getting game time, then it will only benefit him. So I think that's all the outs. Quite a few there. We've really trimmed the squad, especially the B team and the under-19s, releasing a lot of players with just not a lot of potential. Only a few ins, which is a little bit disappointing. We were given a decent budget as well. 17 million, quite generous wages. But again, some of the prices we were quoting for players was really disappointing. But we were strengthening areas that I think probably needed the most attention. So the business that we have done, I'm pleased with. I would like to have done more, but it just doesn't look like it's going to work out. Of course, we have still got some time, but it's looking unlikely. So our first signing, Michael Keane, is coming from Everton. We've signed him on a permanent transfer, as you can see, 3.5-star player. Really happy with this signing. Gideon Young went back to Hamburg. He was pretty useless last season. So this year we only really had Alvaro, Sampaio and Flavio Ramos. Wanted to bring in someone else. I was happy to bring in someone that was like be a backup, but Michael Keane was transfer listed. I only wanted 7 million for him, so I thought, do you know what? That seems like a decent price. Still got a really good rating. He's 28 now, so he is sort of in his prime, but I feel like he could come in and be a solid option for us. So him, Alvaro and Sampaio will be competing for those spots. This is the right back I was on about. 32, as you can see. 17 caps from Brazil, though. I'm going to go with Fagner rather than Fagner, only because of the accent over the A. But another Brazilian, he brought in from Brazil again. Corinthians, we paid 8 million for him. But as you can see, he's had some good seasons recently at Corinthians. And if I show you the comparison with Marcus Rocha, as you can see, Fagner pretty much better in every area. So it was a bit of a no-brainer. And lastly, Jean-Michel Seri, on loan from Chelsea. His value, as you can see, is valued. I think his asking price was about 22 million. After we'd bought in Keane and Fagner, we just didn't have the money to put in a bid that would bring Seri here permanently. But we've got him on loan nevertheless. 30 years old now, but he is certainly going to be a really good addition to that centre midfield. Spent a couple of years out in China, played really well there. Didn't quite hit the heights that maybe Chelsea wanted him to, and after half a season ended up on the transfer list. So we brought him in for the season on loan, and that really is all we've done. As you can see, not much money spent. A lot of youngsters gone out on loan, so it's going to be a very familiar looking side. If we have a look at the team for today's game, as you can see, you will recognise most of that team. All the new players starting in today's game, though. We've had a pretty good pre-season where we've bedded them all in. If you have a look, we did play United in a friendly. That was a pretty convincing defeat, but United's team is seriously impressive. Went on a tour of Austria before playing our last game against Boca Juniors. Didn't concede a goal in the last 4 friendlies, so we looked really good ahead of the opening day. But Valencia is going to be a tough game. That is certainly for sure, especially at Mestalla. So today's team, if we go through it, Invogo is going to be in goal. Fagner at right back. Michael Keane and Sampaio are going to be today's preferred centre-back selection. But that will be interchangeable. We've got 3 great centre-halves. So we'll see how it goes for now. Marcelo Hermes is going to be at left back. Jean-Michel Seri and Jose Carlos Sanchez in the middle of midfield. Sanchez is going to play in the role that's slightly further forward. We know how good he is from getting goals at midfield. So I think having Seri next to him, who's going to be really comfortable playing that defensive role, will allow Sanchez to get forward a little bit more, and hopefully he can give us a goal return similar to last season. I think he got into double figures. Kiko is going to be on the right, Pacheco on the left, Juan P in the number 10 role, and Wilfred Boney is going to be up top. If you have a look at the bench, Kellyan, Alvaro, Ramos, Rolon, Cody Barre, Jimmy Cabo, and Matthias Paradas. Again, another youngster just have knocking around the squad. Got a bit of potential. He's coming along nicely as well. In terms of other players in the squad, as you can see, some familiar names. Michael Santos is injured. He probably would have started today's game, but he picked up an injury. One player also that's looking to go out at the moment, just what I remember, Johnny, handed in a transfer request, was unhappy at the end of last season, So yeah, he's on his way out to Celta Vigo. But yeah, this is the team. This is the squad going forward. Sam Powell's the new club captain. It was Roland, but I didn't think Roland would get as much game time, so I wanted someone who I thought would be definitely in and around the first team on more often than not. So Sam Powell's been given the armband. Hopefully he can lead us to a match-winning performance today. So the games get underway then, shooting from left to right in our black kit. Valencia in their white kit, of course, being at home. And it could be an early chance for Valencia. Pereira has cleared off the line. It looks like Hermes is the one that got it away. Paulista was there on the line. Potential counter for us. Seems like the game's sticking with it. Oh no, it's a good tackle by Kondogbia. And that will be the end of that, I am sure. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game, I think. Valencia, I believe they've been playing some European qualifiers. Perhaps Kondogbia has gone off injured. I think they've had a few competitive games already this season, so I'm sure they'll be much fitter than us and probably a little bit more informed, so we'll have to be wary. But just over 20 minutes gone, it looks like it could be a chance to us as we start from the back. We work it up to Hermes, now Seri to Juan P. Sprays the ball out wide to Kiko. Really looking for Kiko to put in a good shift this season. Boney slips in Pacheco. It's a great save by Neto, arguably straight at him, but nevertheless pushes it away. And the chance goes begging. Looks like a fairly even game so far. Juan P with the corner. Puts it towards the back stick. Pacheco knocks it back in. And Seri will collect. Great switch back out to Juan P. He's got time and space. His ball in isn't very good though. Valencia could catch us on the counter. Rodrigo is gone for the chip, but Vogo equal to it. Something we have to be wary of. Rodrigo is quick up top. Maybe another chance for us. Sanchez on the edge of the area. We know he can hit him, and that's exactly what he's done. He's found himself a bit of space, all alone near the penalty area. A low drive has seen him beat Neto, and we go 1-0 up as we see the header away from the throw-in. Sanchez just keeps running, buys himself some space, and about 16 yards out, drills it into the back of the net, and we lead 1-0 at the Mestalla. Maybe one more chance before half-time. A long throw-in is won by Valencia. A bit of head tennis. It looks like they're going to get it under control. Danny Pereiro. It's forward to Soler now. Rodrigo spins his man. Gonçalo Guedes. They've got a couple of men over this side, but Gonçalo Guedes doesn't need them. My word, what a strike. A bit like Sanchez. Just buys himself a bit of space, but a much more impressive strike outside the area. Picks it up on the left-hand side of the box. Drives to the right-hand side and just hits one. And Vogo, beaten by the power, couldn't even get there. And what a strike to bring Valencia level. And I think that is going to roll us on to half-time. And it is 1-1 at the break. Tell the boys they were excellent. I will do. Keep things going, lads. There was a piece of... I don't know what I was... Advice, there you go, that's the word I was looking for. Try more long balls forward. I think I might give it a go, just because, saying Mark Ferran Torres as well, and Pereiro. I tend to listen to these sort of things. I know a lot of people ignore them, but I'm not the most tactically inept person at this game. You probably will have realised. So I tend to listen to what they say. And more often than not, it pays off. Sometimes it doesn't. And now... there's another piece of advice coming in there, and it is no chance as well. If there has been, we certainly haven't seen them, but an hour gone, and we're not looking brilliantly at the back, as we said. Marcelo Hermes having an absolute shocker. Luna not on the bench though, so we might have to do... Excellent, no one can play left back. Okay, done a bit of shifting. Double substitution, both fullbacks have come off. Alvaro's shifted in. We've gone 3 at the back. Roland is just going to sit in and protect them. But yeah, maybe a change of shape can bring a change of fortune. Although Sanchez's knock. He's our best player though, so I'm a bit wary of taking him off. Lower leg injury. There's tight calf. He can play through that. Pacheco, free kick. Almost bends it. Juan P with a rebound and he snuck it in. I thought he might be offside, but apparently not. Juan P the first to react to it. It was a good effort initially from the free kick from Pacheco. If we have a look at it again. Tries to bend one round the wall. Neto is there, but Juan P unmarked The shot isn't brilliant, but the angle is difficult enough that Neto can't quite keep it out. And we lead, but it could be short-lived as Vas hits the post immediately. 15 minutes, just under, to hold on. Former man Luis Hernandez has come on for Valencia, I've just seen. But can we hold on? Chance with Valencia. Munir with the corner. Savage at the back stick. He's hit the bar. Right, I'm just going to play it a little bit. We'll go to... actually, we'll stick it... right, time to go sweaty. Let's see. Time wasting. No counter press. We won't play it short at the back anymore. Drop the line a little bit. I know this is very sweaty, but at the end of the day, trying to win a game here, people. So back off. Right. Let's just be horrible about it. Waste a bit more time. Juan P is looking knackered, so we'll bring on Kaidi Bare. I hope Kaidi Bare can make quite a contribution this season. He's looked really good when he's played in flashes, so hopefully he can become a bit more of a mainstay in this side. But that is it. We pick up the win. Maybe against the run of play, it has to be said. A draw probably would have been a fair result. But I am never going to complain at 3 points. What a way to start the season. People had written us off today. Well done, boys. A really, really impressive win. So that is going to wrap up today's episode, folks. The Europa League draw is in a few days, but I don't really want to hang around to have to record that. Plus, we've been in the Champions League, so the Europa League is going to, it's not going to be as prominent, I think. Obviously, we'll bring those games to you, if they're important or we get far in the competition, but I think this season we'll try and focus more on the league, let's say. So, in terms of when we will be back, I think it has to be Real Madrid, doesn't it? We'll do Real Madrid and Real Betis. So that will be our next episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I hope you're looking forward to the forthcoming season. I certainly am looking to get back into the Champions League, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a long old season. Like I said, that is going to wrap us up for today, guys. So if you have enjoyed it, please do drop a like on the episode for me. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.